Yes, hello, all my beautiful people. How are you doing today? Welcome to the Alternate Point of View. My name is Tracy Lee, and you have come to this channel to hear about Sean Finnegan versus Tennessee. And this today was the verdict. And welcome to anyone who is new to this channel. Welcome all my OGs who have been ever so faithful. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate you all so much. I am still in Arizona and I am outside, so I apologize for the noise. So I wanted to go ahead and let you know that we got a verdict in today. They deliberated for over 11 hours. It felt like forever because they actually started deliberating on Saturday, believe it or not. They had court on Saturday and they deliberated Saturday, they took off Sunday, and they finished today and came back with a verdict of guilty on all charges, which who knew, right? But yes, guilty on lots of murder charges, and I'm sorry, deleted charges, and kidnapping and horrific assault charges. So, how did this come about? Well, we already had a video about this trial and the absolute horrifying story, but let's recap kind of quickly. As we all know, Rebecca Dishman was the girlfriend of Sean Finnegan, and she was much younger, half his age or more, actually. Sean Finnegan was 52, 53. Rebecca Dishman was 21. They had a BDSM servant master type of relationship, but I'm not really sure who was the servant and who was the master, to be honest with you. Rebecca Dishman was not the mousy little girl that came to the stand. In the relationship, she was actually like 2 or 3 times the size. At the time of this happening, she was pretty intimidating. She threatened other people. She threatened the other women that they brought into the relationship. She was free to come and go as she pleased. Sean Finnegan worked all the time, although they did have a rather kinky kind of relationship. She was able to come and go as she pleased. She was able to leave if she wanted to. She told friends and others what kind of relationship was going on. She claimed that she tried to leave several times. I will say that Sean Finnegan's mother was pretty overbearing as well. Anytime Rebecca did try to leave, she would call Sean at work and he would skedaddle on over very quickly and stop that from happening. So I don't want to say that he didn't have any control over her, but I will say that after hearing his interrogation on Friday, he was very adamant. So this going to trial, I was kind of curious about. I was like, how in the world did this even make it to trial? And Rebecca Dishman did get a plea deal. I mean, mind you, her plea deal was life plus 50 years because I think I mentioned before that they had another incident that involved a toddler, which is pretty dang awful. I mean, what they did to Jennifer was horrific before and after she passed, but the way they make it sound in the description on Court TV and Law and Crime is that they brought this woman to their house with a promise of a place to stay, and they ended up deleting her horrifically with a baseball bat. After that, they also, did some pretty awful things to her in the bedroom, and they make it sound like this happened in one night. Actually, this happened over several days. And then they put her in a freezer and kept her for 8 months. And then apparently Sean Finnegan did some pretty awful things to her even after she was passed. And then Rebecca Dishman, for whatever reason, decided to tell on him and escape. And the police treated her like a victim and decided to take and arrest Sean Finnegan and question him, interrogate him. And in his interrogation, he's pretty adamant that he did not do this. That, I mean, yeah, there was a woman in a freezer. Yeah, he did try to cover all that up. But he was adamant, I mean adamant, that he did not delete her. That he did not do this. That he came home from work and she was already gone. So I am not in any way, shape, or form negating anything that Sean Finnegan did or what he was involved with or his behavior by any means. But after seeing Rebecca, after seeing Rebecca and what she looked like then, and listening to the prosecution closing arguments and hearing him say that, look at the girl on the stand, do you think she could actually do what he's claiming that she did? Do you think that little girl, that little innocent looking thing on the stand was capable? She was being controlled, she was being manipulated, she was being powered over. No, that's not the same person that was at that place in 2019. That person that was in place in 2019 was a much more larger than life person than she was on the stand. And I have to say that even though Sean Finnegan, to me, okay, he got what was coming to him, we haven't got the sentence yet. The jury will decide on his sentence tomorrow, which is very interesting that that's what happens in Tennessee. But I do believe Sean Finnegan came home and found this mess. And I do believe that Rebecca Dishman actually was the one who deleted Jennifer. I do believe that Rebecca Dishman was jealous that he brought her home. I do believe that, especially after watching Rebecca Dishman and her actions on the stand and how she made the motions of how Jennifer was taken out, that Rebecca Dishman is the one who did it. And I do believe that Sean Finnegan, and given the weird relationship that the two of them had, I do believe that he did basically cover up the situation, because he and Rebecca were in this weird relationship. Now, what Sean Finnegan did after, that's on him. That's pretty gnarly and very disgusting. And the kind of relationship they had was, ew. I can't even repeat what kind of stuff was going on. If you guys want to go back and watch the trial and listen to that garbage, y'all go right ahead. But I just can't. But I will say that after listening to the interrogation and watching his behavior and his actions in the courtroom, I will say that that deer in the headlight look that he had, that shaking constantly that he was doing, I believe that it was like he was being exposed, obviously, for his disgusting behavior. And I think that he was like, oh my gosh, the things that I've been doing have come out. Also, his family is really jacked up, you guys. His family is messed up. I think he comes from one of 7 kids. And his siblings, most of them are passed on. They also had some issues in their lives. Drugs were involved. His mother is passed on. The sister that she lived with is passed on. One of his siblings was in prison. So he doesn't come from a very good family at all. I think they have had some difficulties that I'm not saying give him any excuses for the type of person that he is, but I will say that the background of the family is questionable. And I think that some of the things that came out were like exposing who he really was. And I don't think that he liked that in court. I don't think that he enjoyed having his dirty laundry put out. But I do think that he was you know, accepting of the fact of the things that he was responsible for and that he did, but the deleting of someone was something that he was not accepting of. Like, he was like, I did not do that. Like, you can call me a lot of things. I may be this horrific, disgusting, you know, whatever, toddler person, this, you know, BDSM person, or this disgusting, vile person. Y'all saw the pictures if you watched the court trial. You heard the testimony of Rebecca Dishman, but he is accepting of those things. But as far as the deletion of someone, he is not accepting of that. He's like, I did not do that. So I think he was very anxious and nervous about being found guilty on that charge. So like I said, I do believe that Rebecca is the one who did it. So you guys can have your opinions and your comments. Feel free to share. I apologize again for the sound. I just wanted to get this out there that he was found guilty on all counts, and tomorrow they will decide if he is going to get the DP or life in prison. I am not sure how the jury's going to go with this. I kind of think, because this is so vile and it's just so awful and disgusting, and if they are aware of the toddler situation, that he might get the DP. And I think that's what he's afraid of, because I think that he's thinking the DP is something he does not deserve, because he really is like, I didn't do this crime. You can get me on everything else, but I did not do this. And I think he feels like it's not fair that Rebecca, you know, made this deal, which basically she's going to be in there forever. So, but she did look like totally mousy, totally like an innocent little schoolgirl on the stand, when really, in reality, she's a scary beast, you guys. So, I hope that this puts you all to rest on him, but wow, what a vile, disgusting, disgusting case. And I just am happy that they came back with their verdict. I kind of knew that was a sealed deal kind of trial, but I'm interested to see what the verdict is going to be. I mean, as far as the sentencing tomorrow, the victim impact statements are pretty short and sweet. I am surprised that the judge listened to them ahead of time and kind of cut out what they were able to say, because I guess in Tennessee you're not allowed to like say anything derogatory that might prejudice the jury in any way on their sentencing. So that's a new one for me. So it's really cool to listen to trials in different states and see how each state handles these situations. So we'll see what happens. I am catching up on the Robert Tellis trial. Wow, another one that I can't believe went to trial, but super interesting. Oh my gosh, lots of great stuff coming out of that one. So I will recap that, and we'll see what the sentencing looks like for Sean Finnegan tomorrow. So thank you all so much for listening. Kamsahamnida, and I will see you all in the next video.